to Trip Off with Sports Talk. Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, it said my mic was muted. It popped up on my screen. All right. Welcome back to Trip Off with Sports Talk. I'm Josh. That's Bryce. And that's Roy over there.
Over here.
Yeah, he's over there somewhere.
With my nice black eye.
Yep. Roy got his ass kicked at the bar the other night. So,
yeah,
it is.
Which
it
that
is
was the reason.
Yeah. It's going to be a little bit of a different episode. We're not going to talk football this week. A little busy, so we didn't have time to talk it as long as an episode. We're going to go right into March Madness, and there really isn't a lot to talk about. It kind of was chalk of what everyone kind of thought. Purdue and UConn win their games in the Final Four, and then UConn pretty much controlled the game the entire way. I don't have much to talk about it. I kind of thought this was what would happen from the beginning, but do you guys have anything else to say?
UConn's defense and rebound. I mean, they were 10, 12, 10 deep, and they got too many weapons that were going at them, and they attack you and play great defense. That's how they let Zach Edey get what he needed, and they didn't let anybody else do anything. And that's how you got to beat Purdue, and they did it pretty easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be nice not watching Zach Edey in college basketball anymore.
I agree.
Can't wait to see
you don't like him?
Star Salesman in like 4 years.
Oh, you want to talk, Roy?
No, I said, you think you don't like Zach Edey? You don't think he'll be an NBA player?
Stand him.
Yeah. For the triple office bracket, we did have a winner. All the top 5 positions were all the people who picked UConn to win. But in ultimate, Cam Monacle wins, one of my friend's little brother. He did have 3 of the Final 4 teams correct in Purdue, UConn, and Alabama. And then his 4th team, funny enough, was Kentucky, who lost first night. And then had Purdue and UConn in the championship, and had UConn winning. So one of the better brackets you'll see out there. So good for him. He wins the pot of 280. 280. So I paid him last night, so he was happy for that. And I don't really have anything else for college basketball. I mean, couple coaching changes, but we can get into that in a later episode once we get the final details of everything. Again, we're not going to talk about football, so I think that's just going to roll us right into baseball. And first, we can talk about the standings. I'm going to have to disappear, but you guys can still hear me.
1 second. You should turn your camera sideways. It'll probably.
I'm going to have to hold it then.
You can't prop it up sideways on your stand rail or anything?
No, nothing in my car fits it, see?
So that looks so much better.
I mean, I'll just hold it then, but it's going to have to be like this.
That looks terrible.
That looks good.
It's not big enough.
Put it on the bottom part of your steering wheel. Then.
There is none. Doesn't work like that. The only thing I could possibly do. No, it won't work. It's like this.
I mean, the way you had it. Who cares?
Yeah, it looked fine.
We can take over. What do you need to talk about the standings?
Yeah. Make sure you guys can hear me when I'm on. You guys can still hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to be away, but we're going to go over some standings in MLB. And there really hasn't been a lot of change in baseball standings-wise. The Yankees are off to a hot start at 10-2 or 11-2. I don't know if this takes into account for today.
Yeah, it's 10-2.
And then maybe a little bit of shock, maybe a little bit of surprising Boston in second. But we're going to have the standings up on the screen here for you guys to see. So it's just for us to kind of talk about. In the NL East, I think it's early, but everybody's around 500 or better. In the AL Central, Cleveland Guardians have started out on a hot streak. I mean, they're 8-3, and Detroit, who a lot of people expected to take that jump, is 7-4. Kansas City early, playing pretty decent, 6-4, and then maybe Minnesota starts out cold, but the White Sox are struggling still, like we said.
Terrible.
Horrible.
The NL West or the AL West is still kind of. I mean, they're all within like 2 or 3 games, so the standings look a little weird, but they're all pretty close. But the one that I think we should talk about maybe a little bit more in depth is I think the NL Central. I think that one's shocked a lot of people. I would say a lot of people consider this one of the weaker divisions in baseball. I mean, Pittsburgh Pirates are sitting there at the top of the division at 9-3, but the last place team is 6-6, and they're only 3 games back in the Cardinals, so it's real close. I would say most people didn't think the Central would be a strong division, and they have every team at 500 or better. So I'll open the floor. Is there anything that you guys want to talk about when it comes to these teams?
Well, I mean, the Pirates are just playing hot. It's hard to see them keeping that up. O'Neal Cruz is playing at the level of one of the best players in the league right now, and that's what's carrying them through this. So, I mean, the Brewers, you got to think that their pitching's not going to hold up after some of the players they lost, staying at this hot streak. Cubs are playing out of their mind with their bats. They don't have any bullpen. Gave up the biggest lead they've had that they've lost in 20 years last night.
Bryce was not happy
Padres.
about that.
Yeah, up 8-0 in the sixth, and then I mean, Jose Quas should be working at White Castle right now. Though as bad as that guy pitched. Reds, they're a good team. We all talked about that at the beginning of the year. They're good, young. They play great baseball. Cardinals, I mean, this is right where I see them being about 500 all year, so this makes sense to me that they're 6-6. I don't see them climbing the ranks. I still see them as – I think that they might end up being the worst team in the NL Central if the Pirates keep this up.
Roy, how about you?
I mean, I said that Pittsburgh would come out hot. They would win a lot of games early, and then they'll fade about June or July. Look, this is Major League Baseball. You cannot win a division in April, but you can lose a division in April. That's the difference. So, I mean, I've seen over the years, I watched a lot of baseball. I mean, I always go back to the Yankees. I think they were in last place. I can't remember the year, several years ago. They were in second to last place in the division. And then they made a trade at the deadline, and then they went on a win streak of 18 games, and then they won 5 in a row after that, and then they end up making the playoffs. I mean, it all comes down to about who is in position at the All-Star break, who can make a run, who can do the things, and who can get hot and go into the playoffs. You know, like I said, it's not a sprint; it's a marathon. So April and May, I mean, last year Anthony Rizzo was so fucking hot hitting the ball in April, May, and then he got the concussion, and he sucked the rest of the year. So things change throughout the whole year. So for Pittsburgh to be hot right now, who gives a shit right now? You know, Cincinnati looks good. Their pitching just hasn't been as hot as I thought they'd be. Milwaukee's pitching has been better than I thought they'd be. But you look who they play. Some of these, I look at
every division.
The only one that surprised me, really, I'll be honest, is the Yankees. I mean, when you start out with Houston and fucking Diamondbacks, and you have a 10-2 record going,
and then Toronto at home, a division rival.
Yeah, I mean, come on, how the fuck does that happen without Garrett Cole? So
I saw some power rankings that have them at first right now.
Yeah, so if you saw ESPN before the season started, they had Boston and New York finishing dead last in the division. So
and Boston surprised a lot of people early too.
Their pitching and their hitting has been really good. So
good pitching, timely hitting, and they have a lot of people thought Boston has one of the top 5 worst pitching systems in baseball. So it's
the
weird.
Division really what I couldn't believe is the NL West so far has not really been that good, other than the Dodgers. Everybody else has got a losing record. So who knows? This is April. When we get into May, it started getting a hot summer, and the bats and the pitching starts changing. Yeah. Because when the cold weather at these places, it was snowing. What game was that? The
Detroit.
Pirates? Yeah.
Or maybe
Pirates or Detroit. Yeah. I mean, and the ball doesn't fly out when it comes in. And when it gets hot, you're going to see runs, home runs, pitchers, ERAs going up. So let's just get to, right now I enjoy watching baseball. It's awesome, especially when the Yankees are winning. But Atlanta hasn't really been. I mean, they lost Strider. That's going to change the game now.
These pitching injuries are crazy.
Yeah. So we'll just have to see how it goes.
Do you guys think that the pitching clock has anything to do with these pitching injuries that we keep seeing now?
I don't. To me, that doesn't affect injuries. I think it's the velocity that everyone's teaching now and throwing so hard. I mean, your body is just not meant to throw 100 pitches 37 times at 100 miles an hour, breaking off curveballs with your elbow. I just think it's the velocity the game's gotten to, but I just don't know.
They've gotten away from hitting spots. It's about as hard as you can throw. It's about rearing back and just throwing your arm as hard as you can throw it. And if you can throw 100, they'll teach you how to command it.
Exactly.
Well, how many times do you see pitchers that cannot control their fastball, but they can hit you with a slider or curveball, and they can hit their spots, but then they end up throwing their arm out. I agree with Josh. This analytics is good, but it's also taking us to an extreme where your body just cannot handle it. And it's hurting a lot of players. The pitch clock, I mean, it's sped up the game, but I don't think it's hurting anybody either way.
Yeah, when I'll kind of want to talk about that NL Central Division a little bit too. I mean, Pittsburgh, they have so many young, exciting players, but like Brian Hayes, I'll talk O'Neill Cruz. These players are good potential players that just every year, they get that injury, they're out for the next 2 months. I mean, they haven't played. They're finally healthy. I mean, O'Neill Cruz, everyone is agreeing when he hits the ball, man, it goes a long way.
Yeah.
But he only plays, 6 games a year and then he's out. So it's good to see him finally healthy. Same thing with Brian Hayes. They've gotten a couple of young guys to step up, and then their pitching has surprised people too. So good for Pittsburgh in that regard. I don't know. I agree with Roy. I don't know how long they can keep this run going, but it is cool to see it for Pittsburgh. I think the Cubs offense has surprised some people too. Outside of maybe Cubs fans who watch these guys, Danzy's really swinging a good bat early. Bellinger is just someone you expect to swing it well. Nico's getting on base. He can't get a hit to save his life. Trust me.
I mean, the whole team is they've all stepped. It seems like their whole offseason goal was to take pitches, and it seems like every single at bat with the Cubs right now, it's a 3-2 count, and they either get a walk, a single, or an out. And I mean, if you got a pitcher at 40 pitches at the second inning and a starter, that's a recipe for success for a team that doesn't hit a lot of home run balls.
Yeah. And so I think that's what's really helped them beat, a win in the Dodgers series. I mean, they're just scoring runs. Their bullpen is a problem. Bryce had noted to it earlier. Outside of one or two guys, they don't have that guy that you trust. Like you might really hope that he can get 3 outs, but you don't have a guy you can trust outside. I would like their closer. I know he blew one last night, but that's a good hitting team to the Padres. And their starters have been good, but Steele injury concerns me still a little bit. But I think they're considered it's a weak division, even though it's not playing like it right now. I still like the Cubs a chance. I mean, I had them finishing second in the division, so I view them as a good team. I think Milwaukee's bats are hot and their pitching's a little hot. I think Milwaukee is not a good team. I just think they're playing well. Cincinnati's bats are really hot. I mean, Ellie De La Cruz 2 home runs last night. One's inside the park.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an exciting
around in
team.
under 15 seconds. I mean, he's a freak of nature.
Their pitching has been pretty piss poor outside of Frankie Montas, who of course looks like Frankie Montas again. Don't need to get into that. And the Cardinals have won their last 2 out of 3 series, and they just got back their ace starting pitcher in Sonny Gray. They've had no starting pitching almost. They have Newt Barr and Edman on the IL. Contreras has missed 3 or 4 games due to just a bang injury. He's not on the IL, but just missing. And they're surviving and winning games at the moment. I mean, they just beat the Phillies and shut them out. So in Sonny Gray's debut. So this division surprised me a little bit, but I just don't know how long the division can continue to win those games outside of the division. But good for the Central.
Yeah, I definitely think you'll see it fizzle, especially the top 2, Pirates and Brewers. They're both so hot. I don't think that they're as good as a team as what they're playing as right now.
Yeah, I agree. The only other thing I have to say is, not about the Central, is the one team that's really pissing me off is the Miami Marlins, and you can't fucking win one game. No. God damn, you're not helping my team at all.
They won one game. I was there. It was unbelievable. No, I mean, I haven't got to watch a lot of the Yankees-Marlins series, but I mean, they keep popping that graphic up. I mean, you have 4 of your 5 starters in the rotation out for the season. I mean, at the end of the day, how many clubs can withstand that and still throw out a good product on the mound?
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. I mean, I watched the last 2 of the games with the Yankees, and I mean, what's the difference is the bats, obviously. I mean, when you go, I mean, Gleyber Torres hasn't done shit for the Yankees, but when you go Soto and Judge, and then Stanton, who's actually starting to hit the ball,
he's swinging a good bat right now,
and then you got Rizzo and then Volpe, who leads the major leagues in hitting right now.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, that lineup is just insane, and they've taken advantage of some poor pitching by Miami. That's helped out a lot.
Yep. I kind of wanted to move into the players that are having, a good week or a good few games. I'm going to have to leave for a second so I can see the stats. I don't have them in front of me. The first player I'm going to talk about, let me get to him. I mean, how about former Cardinal Tyler O'Neill in Boston?
Yeah, Boston.
I mean, what a start to his season. This was a player who the Cardinals always thought was going to be a good hitter, and he could just never consistently put it together. I mean, to start the year in 28 at-bats, 9 games, he's got 10 hits, 5 home runs, only 5 RBIs, because I'm pretty sure they're all solo shots. He's walked 7 times. He's on average is 357, but his on base is over 500 at the moment. I mean, what a start to Tyler O'Neill. He's always been a streaky hitter, but what a start for his season. The other one I'm going to talk about, I talked about last week. I'm not even going to pull up the stats. I want to just naturally talk about is the sophomore season Anthony Volpe's having. I mean, he's getting on base at an excellent clip. He's not not swinging at balls. The whole team seems like Soto has taught them something about the strike zone. Like Judge, Soto, Volpe, those guys were all good, but the rest of the team are having good at bats. But back to Volpe, I mean, the last night, I'll talk about one at bat. I mean, he's down 0-2 against a left-handed pitcher, Jesus Luzardo, and he throws a slider low and in outside the zone, and he pulls it out of here into the left field bleachers. I mean, just for a sophomore year, it's crazy to see a jump somebody can have at the plate, change swing. He's taking the ball the other way, and he's just getting on base at an elite clip. He's soon to be the leadoff hitter, I would say, in this season. Eventually, they will move into that slot. And then I did have a third player, and now my mind's blanking. I can't remember who it was.
Well, I can go over my two if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
Look. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I'm talking about the exact same two people. Blanco from the Astros.
Yeah.
I didn't even know who this guy was before the season. He threw the no-hitter, and then he comes out and throws like 5 shutout innings or 5 no-hit innings, I think, in his next stage. That's insane. I mean, for a guy that wasn't really on anybody's radar to come out and just be this dominant at the beginning of the year, that's pretty impressive. And then the other guy I talked about last week, Shota Imanaga, he's got 10 no-hits. He still hasn't been hit yet, or 10 scoreless innings. He still hasn't given up a run. So I wish he would have went later into the last Dodgers game to maybe be at 12 or so, but it got rained out, sadly. So I'm so excited to see him. He's my pick for Rookie of the Year, so my real one.
My players, I mean, how can you look on Mookie Betts is just being unreal right now for the Dodgers. I mean, he's got it made with Tani and Freeman around him, but I mean, that guy is just, I mean, he's playing as an MVP. I mean, he is doing what he needs to do. Spencer Steer from Cincinnati has really been hitting the ball well.
He was almost one of my picks.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with how he started. If they can get their pitching with Cincinnati, they've got a young, like you said, they got a young group of hitting the ball and they can score runs. So the other one I was talking about is Tyler O'Neill. I mean, didn't he? I mean, when he was a Cardinal, he'd never hit like that. And then
he had a 2-month span to end the year 2 years ago, and everyone thought, "Holy cow, that might be like he might be breaking out." And then he had an injury-plagued season the next year, and it all fizzled away.
And then my last two guys, I mean, they're easy. I mean, Juan Soto and Bryce Harper. I mean, how can you go against either one of those two?
Yeah.
And Bryce Harper, 3 home runs in the game a couple days ago. I mean, Juan Soto just keeps, like you said, he's changed that lineup for the Yankees. I never seen anybody more patient than anybody at the plate.
That's what's so great to him about me.
I've also never seen such good at bats just watching a baseball game. I mean, he takes everything that's not a strike. If a ball clips the corner, he shakes his head before the ump has called a strike. He knows it's a strike. Oh yeah. And I mean, just putting the ball, he finds the hole. It's crazy. I mean, it was perfectly on tonight. Paul O'Neill, who I loved when he was a Yankee, was showing his swing and how he keeps his lower center of gravity all the time. And it's the same swing every time, and how he hits it, an outside pitch, inside pitch, and a down a plate. And it's the same thing, the same motion, same, and his legs. I mean, he's just amazing when it comes to that. For a guy that's 25 years old to be able to do what he does. He had another RBI tonight. If you see his home run chart of his career, it's completely even. I mean, he can hit to all sides of the field. It's just incredible to watch a player like that hit every day.
Well, and he's going to get especially in Yankee Stadium like tonight. I don't think he only got one inside pitch because he'll pull that ball easily down the short porch in Yankee Stadium.
Well, the game yesterday, he got one up and in. I didn't think he got out. I mean, it was 10 rows deep in the right field, short porch. There's a lot of talent in Ross baseball. It's amazing the young talent at Ross baseball right now with the stars also. Yeah. It's just crazy how, but and maybe that's how the parity right now is because through baseball, there, some teams are doing so well right now because of it, because you have just so much talent. It's just amazing me how good everybody's doing. I do. I will go over the third player that I had.
I just want to interrupt real quick. Christopher Morel just had a grand slam. Speaking of the young players coming up.
The last player that I want to talk about, and I couldn't think of who it was until I went and looked. I mean, he ages like a fine wine. It's Mike Trout. I mean, injury-plagued career the last few years. I mean, he's 11 for 37 with 5 home runs. I think he homered tonight, so that might be 6 now. 4 walks, a triple, 2 stolen bases. I mean, the guy is inevitable. When he plays, he's still one of the greatest players in this game. There's not much else to say. They don't have anything around him, so I mean, it's not gonna have like 50 home runs, 180 RBIs, but just to watch him bat, I mean, feel like
if he can stay healthy, he'll be he's a great player.
Yeah, so that's another player I wanted to talk about, but I don't have anything else. I could sit here and talk about the Yankees with you guys or the Cubs for an hour, but the Yankees are rolling. They're playing well. They're playing the Marlins, and they're beating up on them as they should. But they're doing their thing. So
it's hard for me to focus after I just read that grand slam.
I understand.
Oh man.
I think that's just going to take us to our games of the week and stuff. Locks.
Or we have the Masters to talk about a little bit. Yeah.
I'll let you guys control that one.
We'll let Roy talk about exactly what we're doing.
All right, so what I've been doing for the last several years with a group. I mean, it's a guy with my father-in-law's had done it. We pick 4 players, and you try to. I mean, there's 89 players in the field, so you pick 4 players, and whoever has the best 4 that finish the top 4, finish the best through the 4 days with the best scores. So if it's -7 or you add -7 plus -5, that's -12, right? But if you pick a guy who's got +3. So then you take it, it goes to -9. So it just adds up through the 4. Everybody understand that?
Yeah.
But if your guy doesn't make the cut, automatically the next 2, because they don't get to play on Saturday and Sunday, they automatically get an 80. So it's it's a +8. So it sucks if you it happens to me every year. It seems like I get a guy. So it's basically luck, and if somebody gets hurt or something, that just sucks. Or somebody doesn't make the cut, that's the worst part.
Yeah.
Because there was a guy last year, I think he had the top 3 guys that won, but then he had somebody who didn't make the cut. So that took his average down.
Damn.
So you pick Tiger, you might be worried about missing the cut. So
yeah.
So I got my 4. I don't know if you guys got your 4.
Yep, I do.
I do. And I'm gonna feel really sad if you guys beat me because I know I watch a lot more golf than both of you. So.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, I only pay attention to the Players Championships and the majors. That's about it. So, who wants to go first? I don't know.
I'll go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. My first pick will always be my safe pick when I pick in golf. Will be Xander Schauffele. I have him. I always pick Xander Schauffele. He's a safe pick for me. I like him. My next one will be Patrick Cantlay. Every time I look at a leaderboard, Patrick Cantlay's up at the top. Swear to God. And I don't look at every leaderboard, but I feel like when I do, I see his name. So I'm going to go with him. And then I had to get risky. I'm not here to finish second or third. I'm here to win. So I'm going to go with Cam Smith because he's the best putter that I've watched play.
Good one. Cam Smith's a good putter.
And the damn greens at the Masters are the hardest greens in the world. So I picked Cam Smith, get it on the green, and he'll survive. And then my last one, this was my wild card, Wyndham Clark.
Okay.
Ooh.
So that's going to be my 4. I don't have a lot of knowledge on Wyndham Clark. I just know him, and he was
just talking about putting. He lost the Scheffler over a putt.
Yeah. So that's going to be my 4.
What was your final score for the person that win it all? What'd you put?
I did. I'm trying to think. I had 11 under par.
Yeah. Yep. Sounds good.
I know at the Masters they don't usually get crazy, like 17, 18 under, but the conditions.
12 under won it last year.
What's that?
12 under won it last year.
Yeah, so I should be right in that range.
Yeah. All right, Bryce, you want to go?
I'm going to go ahead. I've said it on this podcast before. Scotty Scheffler is the best golfer in the world right now. It's pretty obvious. I'm taking him first overall. The second one, I don't see him winning, but it's hard to pick against Jon Rahm, man. That dude is an amazing golfer, and he just looking at him, you wouldn't think he's like a super athletic guy. And that guy, plays good golf.
He always plays good at the
My
Masters.
next two,
Yeah.
they aren't my. I don't think that they're the top picks I could probably pick, but they're my two favorite golfers, so I have to pick them. I'm going to take Jordan Spieth at 3 because always root for Jordan Spieth every time he's in one. And then the other one that I love because he's a nerd of the game is always on YouTube explaining stuff. Bryson DeChambeau. I mean,
Ooh,
guy hits 400-yard bombs.
I
have
love
to pick
Bryson
him.
DeChambeau.
He's
but
always
He
been one of
always
my favorites.
struggles at the
Never played well
Masters,
there.
though.
I hope he wins it, but his
He
story.
struggles.
I hope he wins too.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite golfer. I have to pick him.
I agree. I do agree with you in that.
All right. Well, hell, you guys got 3 of my 4.
I knew I'd have at least 2 or 3.
I got 2 with you. I got Scotty Scheffler.
Best golfer in the world right now.
Because he's number 1. And then I got Xander Scheffler. Or was it? Did you say Scheffler? Schauffele.
Yeah.
I got him as the second one. I took Victor Hovland, who's done well at the Masters annually. So I took him. And then my last one's Jordan Spieth. I think he's been dying to win that Masters and get back up to being a top. I love how he expresses when he cusses and gets him pissed off on the show. That's what I like. So go for him. I'm going to go.
Nice.
Either he's a Texas boy.
There's two other golfers I do want to talk about, though. One that I think can be a real good sleeper. He's played a lot of good golf this year and always just been right off the top. Sam Burns. That guy is a very good golfer, and I can see him being at the top. The other one, Tiger Woods, baby. I mean, he apparently shot like one of the best rounds of his life the other day in practice, what I've been hearing. But
he played the other day. He sure as hell ain't getting 4 rounds in this weekend.
Well,
exactly.
all I
That's
got to
my
say about
concern with
Tiger
is him getting through 4 rounds of golf.
Yeah.
All I gotta say about Tiger is, I mean, he gave up sex for the last month or whatever is what he came out with, and I love Phil Mickelson's comment when he said, "Well, after he gets done with the Masters, every hooker and prostitute in Georgia and Florida better watch out." So
yeah,
that's all I gotta say about Tiger Woods.
That's hilarious.
This is why a lot of our family doesn't let their kids listen to our episodes.
Hey, it's on TV. They're listening to ESPN. So.
All right.
Let's see.
I think we are ready.
We'll have to figure out a wager for next. What the loser or the losers have to do on that.
Yeah,
we can figure out a way.
We'll come up with one this week.
Yeah. So I think we're ready for the miscellaneous segment now.
Yep.
All right.
I'm gonna do my lock. I'm gonna stick in the baseball world. I lost a baseball bet today. Got my ass kicked. Missed 3 of the 4, so that's cool. But I did win a $275 bet in the MLB the other day. So, hey. So we're going to go in tomorrow because that's when you guys will see this video. I am going to have the Yankees money line. I can tell you that right now. I'm going to do Yankees minus 1.5 because I just don't think the Marlins have it. Roy, by the way, tomorrow I can see the Yankees finally showing out one of those awful lineups. Days off for everybody.
Yeah.
Not Soto. Soto likes to play from what I've heard, but I can see Judge sitting tomorrow. So I am still going to go Yankees minus 1.5. They got Bryce's boy, the Stroh Show, on the mound. I like that. I am going to go Rangers minus 1.5 as well. And I'll just stick with that. I'll go Yankees and Rangers minus 1.5. The Rangers play Oakland. And I'm going to throw $25 on it, and guess what? It pays over $100. To me, that's a good bet. Holy, I like that. So that's going to be my lock of the week.
All right, we can move over to my game. I'm going back to MLB. I know you guys have been begging for another baseball one. So this one, to me, I wouldn't be able to do this, but there is 9 answers for the most home runs since 2000 by Yankees players.
Ooh.
I think that it would be fair, since you're both Yankees fans, to only give you 1 X.
Okay.
The most home. I mean, through that span, or who led that year? Is that what it's asking?
That span.
That span.
Yeah. Who has
That's
the
how I
most? Who played since 2000? Who has the most home runs who played since 2000?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Judge.
Judge is on there, yeah.
A-Rod's got to be on there.
A-Rod since 2000.
Yeah. There's 2.
See, what gets me is that guy that played first base that we got from the Cardinals.
Voigt's not. I don't think Voigt's
He,
on there.
he hit the most home runs that 1 year.
Yeah, but it was 20. It was the COVID year.
Yeah.
Mark Teixeira's got to be on there.
Mark Teixeira, yeah.
Yes, he is.
Okay, that's
That's how you
3.
say that name.
Mark Teixeira, yeah. I mean, do you think Jeter's on there? He was played so long.
I mean, he would have played, most of it, but he didn't. I mean, he hit like 20 maybe he hit like 10 home runs.
Yeah, but he was there for so long. He just tallied them up.
How many strikes do we get?
1.
I'm going to give you
I
one
think
since you're
he's
both
on there.
Yankees fans.
Jeter.
Jeter is on there.
Thank you.
Okay.
I knew he tallied so many years. I knew he was on there. So we got 4 out of the 9 home run hitters for the Yankees.
I mean, Stanton.
Oh, I don't think so. I mean, he could be at the bottom, but can you tell me the number of the bottom, Bryce? Or no?
I'd have to go back into the video and look.
Oh, that's fine. I didn't know if it was on there.
I'll answer here in a second for you.
It wouldn't be him. I was thinking Alfonso
Posada?
Soriano, but no. Who'd you say?
Posada?
You know, him and Bernie Williams. They played about 2005, maybe. Tino Martinez played about 2005.
I know those names, but I don't know how many home runs they hit.
I mean, they hit a bunch of home runs, but I don't know how. I mean, because you're thinking 2000 to now, right? I mean, that is just. There's been a lot of
Jorge
players.
Posada.
I believe that is correct. It just says Jorge. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Jorge Posada.
I was saying because he played till like 2010, so that we got 5 out of the 9.
It does not say who how many he had, but I can look it up for you.
No, I just didn't know.
Does it have an order like who had the most to now? You got that, or is it just?
It does, but I don't. It has just their pictures, and I don't know these guys, so that's why I had to write them all down.
You know, I didn't hate the Bernie Williams pick.
Yeah, but Bernie Williams only played to I think they got rid of him in 04, 05.
That's too short, probably.
I mean, he hit a ton, but that was the end of his career.
I mean, do you think Gleyber Torres is on that list?
I mean,
he has hit quite a bit of home runs. You got to think that juice ball year.
We'll save him for now. And we'll keep looking.
I kind of think he's on there.
Gary Sanchez?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he played long enough here. Curtis Granderson, possibly. Brett Gardner.
Ooh, Brett Gardner. Yeah, those are 2 that I would. I think Curtis Granderson played 4 years and had a shit ton of home runs.
Okay, well, if you think Granderson hit a fuck ton of home runs, what about Gleyber?
He's been Gleyber's first couple of years, he did not hit that many home runs.
I mean, his second year, he hit 40.
In his second year, I don't think he hit that many.
Was the juice ball year, 19. Didn't he come up in 18 or 17?
I think they all came up in 17. With Judge. Judge came up 17. Go Gleyber. Just see if that.
Gleyber is not on there.
Wow, that's crazy.
How about Granderson?
Is that your next guess?
We already got 1 strike, right? So
yeah, go Granderson.
First Granderson.
It's not Granderson.
All right, then we're done.
Yeah.
Who the fuck else?
Is Tino on there?
Who?
Tino Martinez?
No.
It wouldn't be Jason Giambi.
Yep.
Fuck.
Wow.
Really? He was on the team for 6 years.
Okay.
Yep. Jason Giambi's one of them.
Okay. We only missed 4.
Oh, I forgot about Cano.
Yeah.
Hideki Matsui.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah. Last one.
I don't have his last name. It just says Grady.
Grady.
Oh, is it Gardy?
Gardy?
Maybe.
Brett Gardner.
Yeah, Brett Gardner. Fuck. We should have said Gardner. He was there for so long.
Yeah, but I mean, he hit 8 home runs 1 year, I know.
Yeah, but like 10 over 10 years is 100. You know what I mean?
Jeez, damn it.
I don't even know if you
I
guys
forgot about
Yankee
Matsui.
anymore.
I would never have gotten Giambi. I thought he played like 2 years here.
I got in 02 and can't stay till like 06 or something. That was
Yeah.
about it.
Okay.
Damn it. All right, so I guess it's me. Mine's just
That's
the
a tough
same
one.
for an old man. This one's for Bryce, because I know he likes to do this. It says,
Great.
"Sing in the shower, loud and proud." Just remember what you're holding on to when you sing real loud.
Ah. Nice.
Nice.
Okay. Again, next week we're gonna have a little bit bigger of a football episode because we skipped our 3 teams this week. We'll just rattle them off next week. Pretty
We can
quick.
just add 4 to each week.
Or yeah, but we won't have March Madness or anything to talk about next week. We will talk about the Masters results, but we're not going to dive super deep. It'll kind of just be talking about the 5 or 6 leaders probably. So that won't be too big of a deep dive either. So we should be able to knock some football and baseball out next week.
And I just want to say that I invested in a rookie card, signed one. I don't remember the number, but it's Ben Brown, who just had a 5 shutout pitch inning. So
Nice,
looking good.
Nice.
But I don't think we have anything else. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, comment something. For the love of God, comment something. I'm going to lose my mind. And
we need a few more orders for the merch, and
yes,
we'll be ready to ship all that out. So
yes, I'll edit that in the front. Yes, if you want to buy merch, the link is or the post is on our Instagram. Shoot us a DM, comment something, and we'll get in contact with you. And we only need about 20 more orders to be able to go through with it. So.
And comment how you think I got my black eye. So
Yes.
see if you got any stories on how you think I got my black eye.
An
Yes.
Ohio State fan kicked his ass.
No, not even close. That would have been wiping somebody's ass for that one.
All right. Thank you, guys, and
All
we'll
right.
see you next week. Peace.
See ya.
See ya.
All right. Bryce, you don't have to do anything. Once you hit the